name is Kera Korodudu. This is our special weekly bulletin where we talk about the stories shaping our world and give you insights to make sense of the global political landscape and help you to understand what is happening in Pakistan and around the world. These are our top stories for this week. Shah Mahmood Qureshi arrested in Islamabad. Isa visits Jaranwala to show solidarity with Christian community after blasphemy riots. Iran directors ridicule suspended jail sentence of filmmaker producer. Australian state to pay 243 million for withdrawing as 2026 Commonwealth Games host. West African regional bloc ready to deploy standby force to Niger. And now the details. Shah Mahmood Qureshi arrested in Islamabad PTI. The PTI Vice Chairman Shah Mahmood Qureshi has been arrested in Islamabad, claimed his party on X, formerly Twitter. The PTI Vice Chairman Shah Mahmood Qureshi has been illegally arrested once again, the social media post on the party's account said, adding that he was taken into custody by a large contingent of police from his residence in the federal capital. According to the PTI, Qureshi was being taken to the Federal Investigation Agency's FIA headquarters. According to PTI General Secretary Omar Ayub, Qureshi was taken into custody just as he had reached home after addressing a press conference during which he confirmed that he had met foreign ambassadors recently. Ayub condemned Qureshi's arrest, saying had hoped that the reign of lawlessness would have ended after the exit of the fascist PDM government, but it appears that this caretaker government wants to break the records of their predecessor fascist government. Qureshi's arrest today comes a little over 2 months after his release in a case pertaining to May 9 protests which erupted following the arrest of party chairman Imran Khan in a graft case. He was taken into custody on May 11th by the Islamabad police on multiple charges, including inciting violent protests. On May 18th, the Islamabad High Court had ordered the former foreign minister's release. However, his release was delayed due to his apparent reluctance to provide an undertaking to refrain from engaging in unruly protests. When Qureshi was finally set free on May 23rd, he was taken into custody by Punjab police from outside Adala jail after his detention orders were issued by the Rawalpindi Deputy Commissioner. He was eventually released on June 6 after Lahore Court's Rawalpindi bench ordered his immediate release and set aside his detention orders. Justice Isha visits Jaranwala to show solidarity with Christian community after blasphemy riots. Justice Owazi Foez Isa Senior, Hussain Judge of the Supreme Court, SC, visited Faisalabad District's Jaranwala Tehsil on Saturday to inquire about the situation of the local Christian community after Wednesday's riot over alleged blasphemy on August 16th. A mob targeted the Christian community, ransacking and torching their churches and homes, there leaving at least 19 churches and 86 homes in ruins. Today, Justice Isa, along with his wife, paid a visit to the Christian populated area of Jaranwala, where he met the affectees and assessed the conditions of the burnt buildings. Speaking to the Christian victims, he said if anyone attacks churches, it is the responsibility of Muslims to catch the attackers. Iran directors ridicule suspended jail sentence of filmmaker producer. Iranian cinema directors have ridiculed a 6-month suspended prison sentence handed down to Saeed Roustei and his producer for showcasing their movie at last year's Cannes Film Festival without authorization, saying it was designed to divert attention from the upcoming anniversary of the eruption of nationwide protests. They also said international reaction to the sentence earlier this week was laughable. The Iranian Cinema Directors Association said in an Instagram post that it was the strangest judiciary sentence in the history of Iranian cinema. It said the movie Layla's Brothers had been approved by the government, and the Iranian government itself had participated at the Cannes Festival for years. Such a strange sentence is a futile attempt to humiliate the young and intelligent filmmaker of Iranian cinema, the association said. Australian state to pay $243 million for withdrawing as 2026 Commonwealth Games host. Australia's Victoria state will pay $363 million, $243 million to Commonwealth Games organisers, Victoria Premier Daniel Andrews said on Saturday, after it withdrew as 2026 event host, citing a projected cost blowout. Victoria in July pulled out of hosting the quadrennial multi-sport event, which was to have been held in 4 regional hubs, with Andrews saying costs would have ballooned to more than $7 billion from a budgeted $6 billion. The decision has raised the possibility that the Games may not take place for the first time since being cancelled due to the Second World War. In a joint statement issued by Andrews on Saturday, the Commonwealth Games Federation, Commonwealth Games Federation Partnerships, Commonwealth Games Australia and Victoria said they had settled all the disputes regarding the cancellation of the multi-hub regional Victoria 2026 Commonwealth Games. The state of Victoria has agreed to pay the Commonwealth Games parties $380 million, the statement said. The parties also agreed that the multi-hub regional model was more expensive to host than the traditional models. The payout comes after another blow was dealt to the long-running event when Canada's Alberta province earlier this month withdrew its support for a bid for the 2030 Games. Now roundup. The West African regional bloc ready to deploy standby force to Niger. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS standby force, is ready to go to Niger, a senior officer from the bloc said here late Friday. During a press briefing after a 2-day meeting of ECOWAS defense chiefs in Accra, Abdel Fattah Musa, ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, said that if a peaceful resolution to the recent coup in Niger could not be found through other means, a standby force is prepared to intervene in Niger at any time. On Thursday, the defense chiefs of ECOWAS gathered in Ghana's capital of Accra to discuss plans to deploy a standby force to Niger. We have already agreed and fine-tuned the logistics required for the intervention, said the ECOWAS commissioner. Musa said ECOWAS was adopting the military option due to the intransigence of the military junta in Niger, which had been putting obstacles in the way of a negotiated settlement of the impasse, adding that all options were still on the table for finding a peaceful solution to the crisis. If they respond favorably to the request of the heads of state for dialogue, we are ready to accept. We will not engage in endless dialogue, but a fruitful one to restore constitutional order in the shortest possible time, he added. All options are on the table and our doors are open. We can stand down the military option if they meet us halfway for early restitution or restoration of constitutional order in the country, because the military option is not our preferred option, the official added. The meeting of the ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff on Thursday and Friday followed the directives of the bloc's leadership at their last emergency session in Nigeria to discuss the political situation in Niger. Musa said on ECOWAS standby force is ready to move into Niger to restore constitutional rule and end the impasse. At their last summit in Nigeria last week, ECOWAS leaders decided to activate the standby force while underscoring their continued commitment to restore constitutional order in the country through peaceful means. Tensions are still escalating between Niger's military junta and ECOWAS. Niger's junta allegedly told a top US diplomat that Bazoum would be killed if neighboring countries attempted any military intervention to restore his rule. The junta, led by General Abdurrahman Chichani, has claimed that it could do a better job than Bazoum's government in protecting the nation from jihadi violence. It's still unclear when or where the ECOWAS force would deploy and how reports of the threats against Bazoum would affect a decision by ECOWAS to intervene.